Hello, my name is Shirlene Sando, and I host the Southern Gal Show, and I co-host Boss Ladies TV, which is what we're watching now. This will air, our show airs every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, and we'd love to have you join our Boss Ladies TV group and go in and like our Boss Ladies TV page. And today we're going to be interviewing Mariquita Solis, and she's going to talk about having a joyful relationship, transforming yourself to be an attraction for a magical relationship. I'm really happy to have you here today, and I know that you've got lots of valuable information for our audience. And so I'm going to let you take the floor.
Well, thank you so much, Charlene. I'm excited to be here. Well, I'm Mariquita, and I'm a joyful relationship coach, helping women that are in their power step into their feminine energy like they've never done before. So we can all transform ourselves to be more of an attractant for relationships, the ones that we're desiring. So that's what I do is, I work with these ladies to really push forward into the feminine energy power center. So I'm excited. I've learned a lot from my teacher, Claire Zammit. She's taught me so much that I love to share. And one of the things she taught me is a grounding exercise. So I'd love to begin with that. This is something we always do. So, yeah. So I'm excited about this. So, Charlene, and anyone, if you would like to close your eyes, this is just going to be a 2-minute little grounding exercise. So let's just take a moment to forget about the rat race of the day, to let go of the need to be here for anyone else, to let go of all the errands you need to run, and let go of the to-do list. Sometimes we lose ourselves in the rush of the days. So let that go and move into a place of power, bringing our attention from all these other places that it's been so far today, back fully inside yourself, inside your own body, moving all the way down into your hips, down into your legs, down into the soles of your feet and into the earth. As you take each breath, move into mindfulness. We are here in the present moment. You are in a safe place. There's nothing that can harm you. Connecting to all the parts of you that are full of wisdom, knowledge, love, your creative spirit, the explorer in you. Connecting to your heart center who loves you deeply and is full of wisdom. She is ready to guide you on your journey. Turn the love, power, and compassion toward yourself today, expanding outward to the edges of the room. Let your attention rest in a place where you believe that the universe is supporting your every need and desire, letting go of the how-to, becoming the explorer, the creator of your destiny, stepping into partnership with all who love and support you in this world. How wonderful it is to know that all of the universe is supporting you as she stands with you in love and power as your destiny unfolds before you. And together we say yes and thank you. And so it is, and so it shall be. So,
Awesome. That's awesome.
How do you feel? How do you feel now?
Very much more relaxed. It just sort of does. I do a lot of meditation and relaxation, but you do just have to take a minute to sort of just refocus and just relax for a minute. And if you do that during the day, it's very, very helpful, really. I forgot to mention too on this on Boss Ladies TV, my co-host is Gail Bertrand, and she couldn't be here today. She had something emergency she had to take care of, but she'll be back with me next week. So I just didn't want to not bring that up. I thought of it when I got relaxed.
That's right. When we're under stress, a lot of times we can't think clearly because our brain shut down.
We don't think of anything we want to say. Exactly right. Well, that was awesome. Right. Tell us about, you were talking about women getting into their feminine energy.
Yeah, the feminine energy is different from the masculine. The masculine is pushing forward. It's doing, it's what you need in the boardroom. And we all have different energies, so that's great. So when we're out there in the boardroom, we're really pushing forward, we're making decisions, we're making plans, we're lining everything up. And sometimes when we get home and in our relationships, we can't let go of that masculine energy. So it's the feminine energy that's allowing, it's the creative side. And so this doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. The creativity is coming from that feminine energy, and to embrace that. We have to have a balanced life. I've been reading a book about the male and female brains, and the brains that have the more male qualities, the really male brains, are the people with autism, because they're very linear, very focused. So the female brain is different. It's creative, it's exploring, it's discovery, it's dance and music. So it's really interesting how once we know how we can tap into these different powers, we can use them to accelerate our lives. And so that's what the feminine energy is about. And if we are a lady in a relationship, we really want to not be pushing forward. We don't want to be in that masculine role in the typical male-female relationship. I mean, also in other relationships too. I mean, there always has to be a male-female, the energy. So it's about keeping the balance. We can't have two masculine energies, because they're going to be fighting for power, and that passion is just going to be destroyed in relationships. We have to have a balance.
That's right. Exactly right. Yeah, you get two people who are strong-willed in a room together, and if you're trying to make a decision or discussion on a decision, if you're not in agreement, that can be a tough decision to ever get to, because two strong-willed people both will fight for what they want. Okay,
right.
Connection to a higher power. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and the higher power is really the groundwork for transformation. It's for spiritual transformation. Now, it doesn't have to be a certain thing. It can be whatever it is for you. Maybe it's the universe, maybe it's God, maybe it's nature. But being connected to something greater than yourself, and knowing that that something is supporting you, and this is a divine spirit. And there's so many beautiful things in this universe that could be a higher power for someone. But knowing you're not alone, knowing that that higher power has your back, is the key. And that's crucial for transformation. When we think we're going it alone, it's very hard to have that process. But when we know we've got someone behind us, or we can close our eyes and imagine, maybe it's an angel, maybe it's just a heavenly being or a ray of heavenly light that's following us and guiding us. Now that's what's going to change your life, instead of getting up and saying, I'm all alone, I'll never make it, nobody loves me, no one is here for me. Well, you've tapped into something different when you're in that other mindset. And that's what's going to shift things in your life. So if you haven't got a higher power, think about what really matters to you in your life. Get quiet and go out in nature. Maybe go out somewhere that you feel your creativity is turned on, and just listen to your heart. Ask your heart, what is it? What is it, heart, that I need today? And can you show me who my higher power is? Can you show me who turns on the energy in my life, who turns that creativity on? Is it walking in the mountains or being in the ocean? If it's the ocean, let the ocean be your higher power, and know that the ocean is always supporting you, and the ocean is guiding you. And you can even say a quiet meditation or prayer, whatever you want to call it, but just saying, walk with me, ocean, today. Guide me in these great decisions. And I know you're walking with me, and I know I'm not alone. So it can be as simple as that.
Very good. Very good. What about, you talked about, your topic is transforming yourself. How do we transform ourselves?
Well, we transform ourselves really by that, spiritually, with the higher power, and getting clear on our values. What is important in your life? So many people don't know why they're living, what they're living for. I mean, what's your purpose in life? We've got to get clear on that. So if that's the first step and someone's listening and think, oh no, I don't know what my purpose is, that's okay. There's many people that don't know their purpose in life. I didn't know it for a long time. I wasn't living to my values for 40 something years. I didn't stand up for myself. I just accepted just scraps in the dating relationships. But today I have values and I know what is important to me, and I want to make sure that I set up my life. And this is what you all can do, is set up your life in accordance to your values. And that means your environment. That means your friends. Are your friends supporting your dreams? Are they dragging you down? What's the energy of the people you hang out with? That's really important. So getting this environment that goes along with your values. If you believe that women should be treated with respect, and you're having friends that are calling women all sorts of derogatory names, then that's not in alignment. We've got to be in alignment with our values. So that's one way to transform our lives. Get clear on your values. What are they going to bring into your life? What's your purpose? And who is going to be a part of that? And what your work, if it's bringing you down, then ask your heart, is this the work for me? And listen. And if it's not, find a work that you love. Whatever work it is, if it's something that really drives you, you can be the best at it. You can make money no matter what, whatever it is. I remember watching, I think it was Alan Watts saying that, he said, I don't care what the work is. You can make money if you're going and, living with your passion and your creativity. You can do it, put all that effort into it. So.
Yeah. That is such valuable information. And that's the kind of thing you help people sort of work through and find their purpose. A lot of people, you said it right, a lot of people don't ever find their purpose, and they just kind of wander through life, and they're not exactly happy. They don't really know what to do about it. They don't know where to find the joy. They don't know what questions to ask themselves. Personal development is huge, but most people don't spend much time with personal development. And so somebody like you can really help walk people through to transform their life. And that's amazing. You're doing really good work. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's exciting because everyone is so different. And, like you can see things about me that I can't see, and we're each other's medicine, like one of my teachers says. And so just being open and being in the question, like we don't know today, but that's okay. Now we're shifting from I don't know who I am to I'm going to discover, I'm going to explore who I am, and to let go of that, the fixed mindset. And we're going to step into growth mindset of curiosity, like a child.
Right. Discover, play, and explore. Those are three good words that people need to keep in mind a little bit more. And, sometimes it might be taking a risk, but it's okay. Risk is a calculated risk. I don't think you should just go jump in the ocean if you can't swim. That might not be a good idea. But a calculated risk can make us grow. But again, that personal development will help you learn where you need to grow. Going with a coach like you it's an amazing thing. One of your talking points is we have to heal our wounds so we don't take them into our future. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, we all have wounds, and sometimes we let them hold us down. And if we don't, we carry them into the next relationship, such as trust issues. If we have someone that hurt us, we're so scared to trust that we're going to manifest those same things in our new relationship. We're not going to be able to see clearly because we've got like a shade of doubt in front of us. So we can't see the gifts because we're so worried about the doubt. And sometimes we're not even aware of that. Why am I always doubting this person? Why do I feel like I need to go through their phone? So it's not that you're doubting the person, it's you're doubting yourself. And so that has to come first. And it's not that the person's going to give you, okay, now you can look through my phone. I'm going to give you a detailed record of everything I've done today. That's never going to work. What it is to work on yourself first. Why am I doubting this person? What is it about me that thinks I can't pick a partner that is trustworthy? Because that's what it boils down to. Like, I made the choice to pick you. So if you're not trustworthy, what is it about me that, that I didn't have the right I didn't have the knowledge to pick someone. Now I have to pick someone that's not trustworthy. So now I'm going to have to watch every move they make. And so that's a wound. That's an example of a wound not being healed, bringing it into the next relationship. And if that doesn't work and that relationship blows up, then you take it to the next one in the same old pattern. So it's really about, after every relationship, looking at the relationship. Were you hurt by mistrust? How can you heal those wounds first? And all this healing is internal, getting deep inside your soul and loving yourself and saying, I love myself. I love the fact that you worked so hard in this relationship, and without judgment, but gentleness, going into that place of loving yourself for everything you've done and letting go. I mean, journaling really helps of healing wounds and all sorts of, meditation. So that's got to happen so we don't drag that baggage into the future relationships.
It's sort of, do you think it's sort of like the grieving process when someone loses someone unexpectedly? Let's say I had a friend that her husband just dropped dead, in his 40s or so. And your whole world is turned upside down. And if you don't heal from that, it's hard to go onto the future, at least in a healthy way. You think that's true?
Yeah, definitely. And allowing time, because the more we kind of shut out healing and grieving and say, well, I got to get right back up and go to work. I mean, the more it's still going to linger. It's not going to go away. I mean, it's just going to build. And so allowing the feeling, saying, I feel sad. I mean, you're not sadness. You're seeing this feeling and allowing it. And it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel angry. I mean, so allowing those feelings and not judging. It's normal to feel all these things. And to heal those wounds of grief, because it is definitely it's a loss, just like the loss of if someone passed away. No one wants to necessarily end a relationship. I mean, when we go into it, we really want it to work. So we get expectations and we think this person's going to be like this. And when they're not, we're a lot of times we've got that Disney idea, right? And no one can live up to the Disney idea. No person is going to be everything for you. I mean, that's why we have friends. So that's why it's really important not to just be in that one relationship with your partner, but to have a lot of friends, to step away, to give space, and then come back with your partner to enjoy each other. Because without that time away, then you don't have the appreciation for coming back together. So.
Yeah, I think you talk about the Disney influence on us, not only the Disney, but movies and magazines and what we see on TV. We think we have to look perfect, be perfect, act perfect, and all of our relationships are going to just be perfect too. But that's not even reality in the world. It's an artificial picture, but we see that our entire lives, and you can't
You're
live
right.
up. So
yeah, and I think it's Dr. John Gottman, that he's a relationship expert, that says he does studies. I think he says there's 9 irreconcilable differences in people. So it's just knowing that, then accepting and loving our partners for what they have to give. And I remember Ariel Ford talking about, I think, tea bags being left around the house, and she thought, how it would irritate her, something like that. And so now the new take on it is, I see those tea bags and I'm just loving them, because I know one day the tea bags aren't going to be there, so that's so a whole different shift in perspective about, stepping into love and knowing that relationships, they're work. People always say, like, a lot of times we'll say, well, I lost the passion. Well, we have to be the passion. We have to be the love. Any relationship, it has to be nurtured over time. Just like friendships. You have a friend, you don't talk to them at all, the friendship's going to die off. Well, in these relationships, loving relationships, we've got to be the spark. We've got to be doing something different all the time and continuing that way when we first were dating, or it's just going to die out. And then we're like, well, what happened? Now it's time to get divorced and move to the next one. Well, yeah, right. Same thing again.
Yourself, you're going to jump right into the same kind of situation again, because there are no perfect relationships. When you talk about the tea bags being around, You see a lot of even commercials reminding people, like when they have small kids, or well, my dog used to be a puppy when I got it got it under an abandoned house, but it was a puppy. And puppies, they like to chew everything up. And kids like to mess things up or tear things up or whatever they do. I mean, they can be destructive. And you've got to think though, someday those kids won't be around. They'll be grown and gone and on their own. And something happens to your puppy or your dog dies, it may not be around. So you've got to appreciate the present, the moment, whatever it is, and just deal with the mess, clean it up, whatever you got to do. But don't let it don't let it ruin your life, because it's going to change, and you're going to wish you had some of that back at some point in your life, probably.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And
yeah,
you're right. You've got to deal with it. And then I think it was the Dalai Lama that said, once you know that there are going to be hard times, once you know that you're going to get sick, or that dogs are going to throw up, or you're going to
yeah,
have to clean up cat litter, right?
yeah,
Then it's going to be, once you accept that, your life is going to be happier, because you're not going to be having a fit every time it happens and saying, this isn't supposed to happen. But that's part of life. I
it
mean,
is
we got to take
supposed to happen.
good with the
It is
bad.
exactly supposed to happen because it's what it is. Well,
Right.
very, very good. I just, again, very valuable information for the audience. I think you're just full of wisdom, full of truth, full of truth. People need to, if anybody needs any help on anything going down this road, you get with Marquita and she'll help you. I guarantee you she can help you. What about, we all have unlimited potential for change and growth. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sometimes we step away from our power. Oh, sorry. I guess
Okay.
this is TV. Um,
It's reality, it's real
like,
TV.
yeah, reality TV here. Stop, stop, stop. Um, we
My cat pet curious, so she wouldn't walk across the screen, but now she's meowing too. So it is. This
now
is real
everybody's
TV,
going.
folks.
Now, just like I said, it's not always going to go the way we want it, right?
That's right. We live in the present.
Right.
But it's all
So,
good.
so yeah, everyone has this um, potential, unlimited, untapped power that's sitting in our souls. I mean, sometimes we do tap into it and then we take off, but sometimes we forget who we are and we create a hell for ourselves when we've stepped away from our divine power. And so, getting back, doing the self work, I mean, the inner work, like you were talking about, Charlene, is how to get into that place of power. I mean, this power is your birthright. And so many times we're not listening. We're on the go, 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 go. And your heart is saying, heal. I want to be healed. Your inner child is saying, I'm still hurt from age 5. I'm still hurt from
Mhm.
10. And then we're wondering, why are we drinking so much?
Yeah.
Why are we partying so much? Why are we dating all these people to try to, I mean, for me, I was dating people to try to validate. Please validate that I'm lovable. And so this one didn't. So the next one, please validate I'm lovable. Nope. And so there I was. And then one of the last ones was told me, well, I think you're great, but I'm looking to see what's wrong with you. So he was like, what's wrong with me? Oh my gosh. Okay. So then that turned into what's wrong with me? I mean, just
Oh,
running through a loop. There are years of my life. What's wrong with me? Because after we broke up, of course, I don't have to say we broke up, but after we did, I took on that. He didn't have to be there to say what's wrong with me. So I
yeah.
didn't realize it. I mean, one day I finally got fed up with it. I wasn't sleeping. I just, I was just barely functioning. And I heard Joel Osteen on the TV and he said, you are a child of God. Today is your day. And I thought, what is this? I mean, I didn't know what the TV was turned on to. And there it was. And from that moment, I was able to get back into that space of power. I had lost it for a while. I had turned my eyes away. I had stopped listening to my heart. But that was the spark it took. And also I read someone saying, why are you treating yourself the way they're treating you? And I thought, oh my gosh, why am I doing that? And that was enough to shift. So I just started feeding myself because I had a whole bunch of great manure here with all the past relationships. So I started feeding that manure love, and through that manure, then a flower, grew because I was feeding her the right thing. I was feeding my heart love for a change. I got the book Self-Compassion, and I just clung to that book because I had no idea how to do this. So I was blessed to find that book in the middle of the night on the internet after crying and crying. And so I took that road back, and it was there. That power was inside my soul. I just had to open up my eyes and be willing to hear and stop that fixed mindset of there are no good men. I'll never be married. I'll never find someone. It's to start a new loop in my brain. It's okay to overthink as long as we're overthinking the right thing. As long as I'm thinking, oh, this is a new transformative, exciting day for discovery. And I open my hands. I'm not going to say it has to be this way. I'm just going to be curious and let it happen. And that's the way to do it, to switch to the place of power.
Yeah. Everybody, law of attraction and lots of books you read and people say, and I believe it, you get what you think about. So if you're thinking about the negative all day, you're going to get more negative. If you turn it around and to a positive, then you're going to get more positive. And I found in my own life, it does work that way, because as long as you're in that negative state, it's like you attract more of that, or you can't see beyond that. Maybe we just don't see the others out there. We just don't see it. But if we're thinking the positive, doors just open up. They open
Yeah,
up.
that's
It's
true.
miraculous.
And then, every thought is creating a pathway in our brain and a chemical reaction in our body. So if we're laying down the pathway, for my life sucks, I'll never meet someone, then it's going to happen. And then our bodies are responding to that. If we say, oh no, I'm never going to meet someone, that immediately makes me feel tense and terrible. So we're not in a state of growth there. We're suppressing our growth. So it's really important. Jim Quick says our brain is like a supercomputer, and your self-talk is the program it's running. I think about that so often. We've got to get up and be intentional about what we say. When we say this is going to be a great day, our brain looks to prove that. So we have the power.
Right, we do. And there's so many things out there, but we only see a small portion of what's really in front of us. So if you're thinking the negative, you see the negative, you think the positive. They're both there all the time, but it's a matter of what your brain's actually picking up on. And so
that's true.
Very important to have positive self-talk. Very important. So that's a really good tip. Okay, what about living in alignment?
Well, that's getting clear about your values again, and then making sure that you're living up to it. I want to be healthy. Well, what does that mean? Healthiness isn't always about just eating right and exercising, but it also means being healthy means loving yourself, loving your heart, listening to what your heart wants, right? If your heart wants a chocolate chip cookie, let her have it. Don't condemn her and say, stop looking at the chocolate chip cookies. This means this is living in alignment with love and your values. And hopefully you're on track. Your value would be to love yourself. And the more you love yourself, the more people are going to radiate to you. That's the key of getting a really healthy relationship. When both partners are loving themselves, my gosh, the growth is, it's so expansive. So getting in alignment with love your loving heart, and making sure that everyone in your community is on that same track.
Right, the people you're around. And if a person, I'd say, would do this, if you're a mother and you're raising kids, that same positive energy will radiate to your kids, and they'll grow up in a more positive environment, and they'll be more positive people. So we're not only affecting us, but we're affecting our kids, our friends, everyone around us. Because when you're putting out all the negative, pretty soon people don't even want to be around you anyway. You're gonna attract more negativity because you're putting it out, and then people, they kind of send it back to you in a way. But if you can be on the positive side and radiate that positivity, your family, your friends, your kids, your grandkids, maybe even your pets, everybody's going to be on a more positive note.
Yeah, they're going to get that energy. You're right.
Right.
The energy, we're all energy. So, what are we putting out there?
That's what we get back. Well, I really appreciate you being here today. Can you tell the audience how they can get a hold of you if they need to? or want to?
Sure. Yeah, I have a joyful relationship coaching page on Facebook, and that's for men and women. And I have a joy and fulfillment, create the relationship you deserve. That's a ladies group on Facebook. And then I'm on Mariquita Solis on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I would love to support anyone here because I've been there. I know what it's like, and I have a lot of stories to tell, to encourage you because you deserve it. Being supported by the universe, that's your birthright, and you deserve to thrive and grow in love.
Right. And people, that's one way of taking care of yourself, because again, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't really take care of anybody else very well. So you
No,
really have you've got to put yourself first. And as women, we often put ourselves last. But you got to turn it around, put yourself first, because the more, again, you can get better yourself and grow yourself, the better you can influence other people in a positive way. So it's very important to do, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, I appreciate you being here, and I want everybody to get in touch with Marquita, and she'll be glad to help you. And follow her on Instagram and Facebook, and just get yourself in a positive mood.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
definitely.
Yep.
Thank you. And reach out
Thank
to
you.
me, for I'd love to gift you a call, for people that want some clarity in their life. And I'm really appreciative for this, Charlene, for being here with your audience.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. We will let you go, and we'll talk later. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.